In a screening interview, expect something about salary. Expect either a salary history request or a request about what salary range you want. And the key thing to remember is you don't want to lock in on a number. If they say what salary you're looking for in this job, you don't want to say 32,500 or whatever that weird number might be, because then you're stuck to that number. As you get further along and let's say you get the job offer, you're so successful, they're going to say, well, remember in that screening interview when you wanted 32,000 and we were going to offer you, they wouldn't say this to you, but maybe they were going to offer you 40,000. You never want to get locked down to a salary. So what you want to do is do your research, go to salary surveys, salary sites, the salary calculator on this site, and get as much information as you can, and then if they try to pin you down, give them the range. That's the best thing you can do. That gives you a little wiggle room because this is just the beginning phase. The actual negotiation won't happen until you're offered the job. So when dealing with a salary request during the interview, the other thing you want to remember is that you want to focus on your worth, your value, not what you need. I know that's sometimes hard, especially when you're living month to month, if you are, or rent payments or house mortgage payments and things like that, but the employer doesn't care about that. What the employer cares about is what are you going to bring to that company, that organization, what's your value, and that's what you have to focus on. And that's the key things from your background, from the salary surveys and things like that. That's the proof, the evidence you have that shows your value in the marketplace. You should expect an unexpected question. That's the key to some job interviews. Some interviewers just love to throw an off-the-wall question at you. It might be something you didn't expect from your background, but it also might be something like, what's your favorite color? Or what, if you were an animal, what would you be? Now, typically there aren't any wrong answers to these types of questions. What they're really looking for is your thought process. Now, with an unexpected question, the process for handling it is, don't just blurt something out. That's what a lot of job seekers do. Or they just sit there and start babbling. Now you can have a pause. Now in a screening interview, it's a little more difficult because then there's dead air and no one, especially over the phone or the web, it's kind of weird. But the three options are a pause to what you think about it. My favorite trick is actually number 2, which is to repeat the question back. So while you're repeating it back, the other half of your brain is saying, what's the answer, what's the answer, what's the answer? And then the third option, if you really are stumped and you just can't, for some reason, if you were a color, what would you be? It's just totally throwing you off your game. Just say, do you mind if we come back to this later? And that might be a little strike against you, but at least that gives you time again as the interview is going. Sometimes the interviewer will forget to come back to it. But if they do, it gives you enough time to have an answer to come back and really go and nail it. If you get asked a difficult question, something in your background, could be a gap, could be being fired, could be maybe you're doing a career change and they want to know something about that. The key thing is, first, be honest. They know about it. It's best to approach it that way. And then the second thing to do is talk about what lessons have come from that, or how you've changed since then, or what's different about you now than that previous topic. So that's the key thing. Handling a lack of experience is, first of all, you might not have as much lack of experience as you think you do. So that's number 1. But if that comes up in a job interview, and that sometimes does, first remember that you're in the interview. So that's a great thing. If they thought it was truly a lack of experience, you wouldn't even be in the interview. So number 1, remember that you're there, you've made it this far. So now you just need to push it over the edge. Just maybe they have a little bit of doubt. So I would stress your skills. Again, look at transferable skills. These are skills that go across all jobs, things like communications, organizing, leadership, and talk about those things. And again, tie those skills to the job you're seeking. If you know that job posting, you know the responsibilities, and you know your experience, then all you're doing is a sales job, and all you're trying to do is convince them that you have what it takes.